One of the hardest questions for beginner creators is, how much do I charge? And the truth is, most people are just going with the flow, which is absolutely wrong. Today, I'll show you how to calculate your rates properly so you stop undercharging and start charging like a professional. First things first, you need to stop copying people's pricing, because what works for someone else may not work for you, because pricing depends on your niche, your skill, your audience, your positioning, and your productivity. So let's break down the basic pricing formula. Your rate is equal to time plus skill plus production plus value plus usage. Now, time means the time you take in editing, shooting, and planning. Skill means your experience level. Production means lighting, setup, and equipment, and this includes whether it's your equipment or if you're renting them. Value means your audience and your engagements. And usage rights means ads, whitelisting, and exclusivity. So here's a simple pricing method for beginners. You need to calculate how long it takes to create a content. For me, it takes me about 2 hours to create a full makeup glam. Now, next thing you need to do is assign a base hourly value. Now, since it takes me 2 hours to create a makeup content, let's say I want to charge 50,000 naira per hour. So if it takes me 2 hours to film a full makeup content, I'm going to be charging 100,000 naira because I am charging 50,000 per hour. So that means 50,000 times 2 hours, which is going to be 100,000. Next up, I'm going to add production costs. How much does it take me to produce this content? If I need to buy fuel, if I need to recharge my meter, how much unit do I consume when creating content? How much fuel? Let's use fuel. So let's say I use 2 liters of fuel to create content, and fuel is how much now? 1,500 for a liter. So let's say fuel is 1,500 for a liter. 1,500 times 2 hours times 2 liters, that's 3,000 naira, which is what I consume, which we are assuming is what I consume for 2 hours. So 3,000 naira for fuel. So let's assume that's the overall expense I needed to create this content. That is 3,000 naira. I'm going to add that to my base rate, which is 100,000. So I'm going to be charging 103,000 naira. If I am renting a space to create this content, let's say for instance, I'm renting a space that is, that costs me 17,000 naira for 2 hours. I'm going to add that plus 3,000 naira for fuel, which is going to cost 20,000 naira. And I'm going to add this 20,000 naira to my 100,000, which is going to make up my base rate, 120,000 naira. So in a nutshell, your base rate is basically how much you're charging per hour to create a content and all the extra costs you incur to create that content. So when you add these two together, you get your base rate. Next up, package pricing. This is a very smart strategy. Instead of selling just one video, you can put them up as a package. Sometimes you can have it as a gold package, silver package, platinum package, diamond package, whichever name you choose to name it. And you can have it as 3 videos, 6 videos, 10 videos. So now for 3 videos, if it costs 120,000 naira to shoot a video, if you're giving 3 video package, you're going to have it as 120 times 3 is 360,000 naira. You can choose to give a discount for the 3 videos and give it up at 320,000. So you're giving 40,000 naira discount. So what this does is it helps increase your income, attracts serious brand, and reduces stress. Next up is the usage rights section. Now your usage rights is basically you charging 50% or 100% of your base rate. For instance, if a brand wants to run ads on your content, we've already established that one video costs 120,000 naira, right? So if they're running ads on your content, if you be charging them 50% base rate per month, so it means 50% of 120,000 naira. You do 50 divided by 100. So when you say 50 divided by 100, you get 0.5. Now, 0.5 is what you multiply by 120,000. And you get 60,000 naira. Now that 60,000 naira is what you add to your 120,000 if they are running ads on your content in a month. So when you add that up, you'll be getting 180,000 naira. So instead of a brand paying you 120k and then go ahead to run ads on your content for free, you are earning extra 60,000 naira. In total, your money is 180,000 naira for a month that they run ads. But let's say they are running ads for 6 months to a year. You're going to use the same formula if you're charging 50%. So it means you're going to have 50 divided by 100. 50 divided by 100 will still give you 0.5. Multiply that by your 120 and you have 60,000. Now 60,000 times 6 months, you get 360,000 naira. So 360,000 plus 120,000. You get 480,000 naira. So in total, the brand is supposed to pay you extra 360,000 naira to run ads on your content for 6 months. Now, when you add that up with your 120,000 naira base rate, you have 480,000 naira as your total rate. Am I communicating? So you see, instead of collecting 120k and a brand will be running ads on your content for the next 6 months, do you see how much money you are losing when they run ads on your content for free? This amount is based on when they run ads on your content. You can choose to charge this per platform. That if you're running it on Instagram, you charge for that. If you're running on TikTok, you charge for that. Or you can choose for them to allow them run it on 2 platforms. Another thing you need to know under usage rights is that the right to use your content at all expires. Yes, you heard right. So you can allow a brand use your content for 6 months to a year. Majorly 6 months. That is, they are using the content to run ads, which they are paying you for. And then once that 6 months has expired, you can reach out to them, informing them that, oh, the usage rights, the right to use this content for ads or on any other platform has expired. And then you renegotiate with them. If they say they want to continue using the content, you can charge them 50% or 80% of your base rate. So let's say you are charging them 80% of your base rate based on the fact that you don't have to reshoot any content for them. They are basically using the old content. So if you're charging them 80% of your base rate, what you do now is 80 divided by 100 times 120,000. You have 96,000 naira. So now the brand is going to pay you 96,000 naira to continue using your content for the next 6 months for ads and posting on their platforms. So instead of you having to set up lights, film and all of that, you just made money on an old video. You want to charge for add-ons. You can give them the opportunity to review the content just once and you make your corrections. But if there's extra revisions, like maybe it's getting to 2 to 3 revisions, then you can charge extra for that. So for extra revision, you can choose to charge 20,000 naira if you want to. For logistics, if you have to leave your space to go create the content somewhere else, you can charge based off of the location that you are going to film. So let's say your Uber fare is going to cost you 50,000 naira to and fro. You add that in your add-ons. And then lastly, raw footage. For raw footage, you charge 50% of your base rate or 100% of your base rate, whichever suits. Let's say you're charging 50% of your base rate for raw footage. You're going to have 60,000 naira extra. So now let's review the total amount you're going to be getting from a video. 120,000 for base rate plus 1 month of ad usage, that's 60,000 naira, plus add-ons, extra revision. Let's say they reviewed it twice, that's 40,000 naira, because it's 20,000 naira per review, plus raw footage. They want to get the raw footage of the products, that's 60,000 naira, 50% of your base rate. Total amount that you are going to be paid is 280,000 naira. Do you see? So instead of you just collecting 120k and going to sit down, you collect 280,000 naira cool cash. This is how you calculate your usage rights. Now let's take it up a notch. If they want you to be exclusive, like they want you to work with their brand, they don't want you to work with another brand for the next, say, 3 months, you charge them 100% of your base rate per month. You can choose to charge 50%, but exclusivity is a huge sacrifice. It means you are giving up extra money. 100% of your base rate, that's extra 120k. If they say it's for the next 6 months or for the next 3 months, you can't work with a similar brand, a brand that is similar to them. That's what exclusivity means. Exclusivity means you can't work with a brand that is similar to their brand. Say you're working with a makeup brand and you can't work with any other makeup brand. So you charge them 100% per month. So let's say for the next 6 months or for the next 1 year, you are not allowed to work with another brand. So 120k times, if they are doing it for 6 months, that's 720,000 naira. So 720,000 plus your base rate is 840,000 naira. So what you're getting in total for your base when it comes to exclusivity is 840,000 naira. No negotiations, no nothing. Do you understand? Now, after getting this, it does not include ads. So yeah, as much as you are able to do all of this, professionally structure your rate card, professionally structure your usage rights and all that, you still need to understand that you're going to come across so many brands that don't understand the concept of usage rights, don't understand the concept of content creation as a whole. Now it is your duty to take note of all this. So here are some red flags that you need to take note of when working with certain brands. If they tell you they don't have a budget, run. If they say it's just a simple video, run. If they say they will give you exposure, now in this situation, it is up to you to work with the brand or not. If they insist that it is only exposure that they can use to pay you. But as a professional creator who is running it as a business, do not allow exposure as payment. So it is important for you to price confidently. If you don't believe your pricing, brands won't either. Confidence comes from understanding your value, having structure, and knowing your numbers. Pricing as a content creator is not about being cheap. It's about being clear, confident, and strategic. We've come to the end of today's video. Let me know if you found it helpful, and please share to other content creators so they can learn too. So this way, more people are educated about rate cards, usage rights, and content creation as a whole. I'll see you on my next video. Bye.